here is something that nobody tells you when you turn over 40, 45, 50, 60. That the rules that applied when you were 20, 25 no longer apply to you. That is to start early, compound. Those rules no longer apply. The purpose of this video is not to discourage you. The purpose of this video is to say, we are not catching up. You cannot catch up. You are already over 40. That this video and the message is not about what you would have wanted to achieve. This video is for you. It is for you to understand that it is important to start where you are. That all is not lost. That the window to prosperity, to financial success is not closed simply because you're over 40. Stay with me on this one. I'm Linda. If you are visiting this channel for the first time, I've been where you are right now. So, what I did, I'm going to be taking you through the 3 steps or phases that I had to follow, and they helped me quite a lot. The first important thing was for me to be honest with myself, no lying, about exactly where I was when it came to assets and liabilities. And I do want to warn you, even if you have a paid up house, you must know that you cannot sell that within a short space of time in case there is an emergency. So what you need is to accept if there is no cash flow. Accept that you need a strategy to bring in cash in addition to a roof over your head. So I had to do that. Briefly, sometimes the net worth principle becomes vanity because the bottom line is that you must eat. The bottom line is that in case of an emergency, you need to respond. So I had to face my situation in an honest manner, and I did it alone. And then the second thing that I did, it was to then decide to build from where I was located. And that building involved me having to look at my bank statements and then start weeding out what was discretionary, what was not a necessity. There were lights, I had to water and lights. There were payments I needed to make every month. They were not discretionary. So what I did, it was to take a decision, a quiet decision that whatever was discretionary was not serving me. It was not taking me nearer to where I wanted to be because cash flow needed to improve. Do that. It is important. It's a painful exercise. However, do it with honesty. Don't lie to yourself, and give yourself 3 months that you're not going to be eating out. If you are somebody who has been eating out, buying, because sometimes we are so consumerist that we miss the fact that those are leaks that we need to plug, and steadily you would see yourself generating some cash, no matter how small. I encourage you to do that. The third thing that I did, now this is important. It was important for me to have psychological anchor, as I had decided that cash flow needed to improve. So do you know what I did? I decided to have a peace fund. just for psychological anchor, I decided to get an automated savings account, not an investment account, automated, so that every 25th day of the month, I would put aside some money. Not myself, it was the system, the automated system that did that for me. I found that rewarding, and it was also telling me psychologically that I was getting nearer to where I wanted to be, improving cash flow on a monthly basis. I literally named that savings account the Peace Fund. It's a psychological anchor. It is a way of saying to your mind, this is who we are now. Every 25th of the day, that was me, I don't know about you, every 25th of the day, I am setting aside so much, and in an automated fashion. It was like paying myself first. Very important, paying myself first. I encourage you to do that. Just a peace fund. And tell yourself that you are going to be contributing to the peace fund, say for 6 months, even if it is $10, $50. If you are in South Africa like myself, 500 rands. You do it. You do it for the next 6 months. And when you reach 6 months, you stop. That is where you would then consider investing. But we are going to come to that. For now, I am simply talking about the peace fund, the psychological anchor that says I can do it. And I even forget I don't touch the peace fund. Just by way of sharing, it was very interesting. I started the peace fund and something happened. Climate change, particularly for some of us who live along the coast, sometimes has devastating effects. And there was damage to my house. I didn't touch the peace fund because at least I had a small investment. But that was a message. It was encouraging me that it was important for me to have a portfolio, small amounts that I was putting aside in case of an emergency. You know, I've been through that situation. It is not a pleasant situation when the act of God, the tornado, rips your roof. You're just blown and you have to respond while you are processing an insurance claim, but you need to cover your house. I've been there. Stay with me. Then I'm coming to the fourth step that is very, very important. I was faced with this question, and now, Linda, what's the way forward? I had to provide an answer. I sat down. I jotted down everything that I had done in my professional life. The people I had assisted, the advice. I did that. In short, it was a skills audit. What is it that I was capable of? Because it was important for me to reskill. It was important for me to do something from where I was located, to do something that I could do and do with joy, with passion, with commitment, even if I was not getting paid for it. I did that. And you know, I had forgotten that I had been a teacher. So everything just came together and I realized that I had value. I was still valuable. I had a skill I could offer, get paid for it. People were still coming. And there are those I then intimated to them that I was starting a coaching business. I don't look back today because one thing led to another. The coaching business made me a mentor. I did research and I networked with people who encouraged me. I attended courses. I registered for a 12-month course with Modern Wealthy. It was a valuable course because it also didn't allow me to move to the next stage if I had not covered another stage. And that taught me dedication, persistence, commitment. I was committed and it was an investment. I had made an investment to myself, so it was important that I make use of it. I encourage you to do the same. Do a skills audit, because even if you are still employed, do you know what? You cannot afford, these days you cannot afford to have one source of income. You need an additional source of income. So I encourage you, some people call it a side hustle, whatever it is, you do need an additional source of income because work is not guaranteed these days. You don't want to be exposed in case you are laid off, in case something happens, the company closes down. You do want to have a soft landing. So do a skills audit. Another thing that helped me quite a lot, it was to digitize, to automate my savings account. And as I've indicated, I had a peace fund. It was important for me to do that so that I am not emotionally involved and I shy away from temptation to dabble in those funds. So do the same. I encourage you to do that. There is something that also helped me quite a lot. The reskilling involved that I had to read and inform myself. I was no longer shying away from accepting that I needed to understand the fundamentals of financial management, investments, etc. I did that. It helped me quite a lot. Today I can talk openly about the fact that when I left my 9-to-5 job, I was not adequately prepared. I didn't have a soft landing. I didn't even have a skill that I could tap into. I had forgotten, after all. What I knew was that I was a lawyer, a special advisor with this legal expertise. It didn't work. I had to go back and start from zero where I was. And I encourage you not to be embarrassed. Start where you are and then obviously move forward in a responsible manner. What I did, and this is very important, as I tugged into books on financial management, I had to tackle debt. I learned that it's not every debt that is negative, but it's important to manage debt. Not just to incur debt for the sake of incurring debt. Just buying in order to keep up with friends and the community, etc. Investing in a car is a liability. So what I did, it was to downgrade. I didn't need that car that was expensive, etc. I did that. It was quiet acceptance that when it came to debt, was it a debt I could defend? It was important. I learned a lot. Some debts I just did away with. No credit cards. You don't need that unless you keep one. I don't have any. I had to do away with that because the principle I adopted was that if I can afford it, yes. If I can't, no. Is it necessary? If it is necessary, yes. If it is not, no. Can I do away with that? If it is no, it's a different matter. If it is yes, I just took it out of my bucket when it came to expenses. I encourage you to do that. You will be surprised. You would sleep peacefully. And you would even approach your creditors with confidence because you have done your homework. You know how to approach them. You do not need to shy away from phone calls, etc. You become proactive and engage your creditors to make payment arrangements. That helped me quite a lot. So, you know what? Before I let you go, I am going to invite you. Can you just indicate one thing for me that is a takeaway? What is it that you are going to start implementing as from tomorrow? Please, can you share that with me? It is important for me to know. Another thing, please don't forget, could you press a like button and a subscribe, little bell there, and do share this video with other people who may find this message helpful, because I am growing this community and I would like to grow with you. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to being with you in the next video.